they start to gray out. Honestly, I'm just waiting for the bullet train. Seriously, I have a plan. But first, I'm gonna go eat some more fruit. Now, I am so full of knowledge that I cannot get out of bed. I am so stuffed with information that I missed Thanksgiving. I'm so brimming with understanding that I'm overstimulated. And I failed you. I am not solving your problems. I am not giving you hope. I am not stopping you from opening up yet another bar on Fremont Street. I should be out there with a sign, but I'm not. I'm just claiming to not be a poet at a poetry reading. And when I'm gone, there'll be nothing left at my wake. And you'll miss me. Oh, you will miss me like you miss Arby's. It'll be the pits. But let me leave you with this one piece of knowledge, at least, since we're all in the room together. And it goes a little something like this. Here it comes. It's right there. It really only works if it was spontaneously right after that.
Yeah, it's interstitial
Are
music.
you fucking kidding? There was it. Can we take care of all this in post?
This is where you need a band.
I know, that's where the tuba comes in. Las Vegas, when you're having fun, that's when they get you. And when you're trying to have fun, that's when they get you. And when you're not having fun at all, that's when they get you. Thank you.
Do the zipper shtick.
Do you want me to pull out the whole thing or just enough to scare you? That's the zipper stick.
Oh, I never. All these years I never knew what the zipper shtick was.
That's the zipper stick. It's when you grab your crotch and you start to tug on the zipper and you say, you want me to pull out the whole thing or just enough to scare you?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
We're learning so much about each other in these last moments.
Summer 1970. Today is the 47th anniversary of the opening of Circus Circus. That's a true story. So, I'm 1 year older than Circus Circus, but I'd like to feel that I'm holding up better. At some point, this, well, you'll hear. Here's it goes. I'm just going to keep going until, yeah, it's not too bad. It's, well, longer than it looks. Okay. Talking about the novel again. We're done with the zipper stick. This would not have worked with the octogenarians.
No.
This material would not. Lloyd George would have banished me from. I would have gotten another decision.
No free lunch would have been worth that.
Right. Okay. So just get into the groove of listening to some guy read from his novel. Is everybody good with that? It's not going to be easy. Okay. Who whooped? Is that PJ? It's all right. It's good. It's good. The grid of city squares begins to stir before you do. Dust lifts, sand shuffles in the steadily brightening light of predictable dawn. Maybe it's 4:50 a.m., maybe a little later. The familiar civilian army alive anew rise and trample sidewalks and dirt underfoot. This is what people who aren't them and who are looking will see. This is what you will have seen for as many yesterdays as have existed in this newish city. You spot them one by many, by steady. It's an open, secret march of dribs and drabbles, of people determined to head here and there. Solo artists, young men paired with old, limpers, ladies smartly dressed, two teens in their late 20s, ladies in asymmetrical layers, a woman's dad who disappeared from Missouri months ago, men with simmering rage, ladies in cocktail gowns and bare feet, one black man with a head full of gray hair carrying a medium-sized wooden box, crusties, poor folks with intermittent jogs looking to avoid the attention of the sheriff, a scattered gang of oldish guys in full suits and scuffed loafers, lingering drunks, fresh rising drunks just off the Greyhounds, math stars, luck junkies, all soldiering onward again. Some are especially new faces. Not everyone knows everyone. Some greet others, but many do not. Every water faucet along the sides of buildings are cradles of civilization. Every crack in the sunbeam ground is an oversight. This is Las Vegas at the moment the natural and unnatural lights share a space. When the fringe eclipses the mainstay, the magic hour. Between the normal shifts, these, the people of the couches, efficiency apartments, behind buildings, and from motels with names like the Ambassador and the Vagabond, the Gables and the Safari. They spring out as an answer to variations on a soundless siren call. May or may not be a plan in place. The rumored existence of a code that they live by is something likely projected by the sheriff. These are people who have been driven to the desert and now they are walking along the streets, and now, even if you wanted to, you can't follow them. Vanish and reemerge in one doorway and out another of yet another 24-hour disappear center. Looking for the guy who had that thing? Slipping into a late model Cadillac or a busted up 1963 Ford Falcon, one way or another they turn into thin air around the corner. Meanwhile, if legit business doesn't call you out, you're probably in bed. Sands behind your eyelids. You're lucky. Others are thinking about going home, like the workers nearing the end of a shift, like the warm bodies engaged in what is generically written off as a bender to someone who doesn't live here. Both are drained of yet another bit of hope. Both are casualties of the free will war. Then again, maybe you wouldn't notice all these walkers. If you're out at this time of the morning, it's best to squarely focus on the goal of getting to sleep / where you're going before it gets too hot. Virgil Goldfarb is on his bike right now, headed to the circus to start his day. An off shift that started with a one-ring phone call. He lunged for the receiver. Since starting this job 6 months earlier, Virgil trained himself to sleep lightest right around 5 a.m., when is usually when calls like this came. "We had an apeshit night, Virgil. Need you in right now," Elmer said. "Get those 16-year-old boy thighs thumping that Schwinn, handsome. See you in 20 minutes, click." The Goldfarb apartment is right between the Landmark and the Circus. Virgil can get to work in 20 minutes. Quickly, he tiptoes to peek into his parents' room to make sure the phone didn't wake them. He carefully pushes back the door to see his mother in a sleep mask and hairnet. She's completely passed out. There's a fresh space where his father has not yet returned from work. All fine. Normal. Virgil takes 3 steps back into the bathroom, a slow trickle of water over his toothbrush, a little brush on the tops, a little on the bottoms, a quick stare into the mirror in front of him, and then a minute later he's dressed. Another stare into the gold speckled mirror panels on the wall near the door, then the outside where it's barely too hot. Virgil is mobile. It's not exactly a gauntlet of walkers along the short ride, but Virgil's not alone either. As the sun sweeps shadows along the road as he rolls by, he spots people with unhappy, crazy looks, people clearly not headed to casino jobs because their clothes are too casual. There are no vests, there are no aprons, there are no black pants, people looking like they're in a hurry to hang out somewhere else, people not looking at Virgil. It's now 20 minutes later, give or take, and Virgil drops his bike off with valet, but doesn't get a claim ticket since they know him. Virgil thinks, apeshit or apeshit? Apeshit or apeshit? Up the back stairwell, through the back of the house, around the curved stairwell, next to the acrobat's dressing room, past the simian pen, thankfully all seemingly accounted for, beyond the elephant's makeup area, Virgil gets onto the service elevator that's the quickest route to Blinko's, which is officially known as Blinko's International House of Irregulars and Cocktail Lounge. Blinko's has velvety innards in the tiniest queue between the elevator and the door, where the dusty degenerates and culturati wait for approval before swinging together every night to a secret counterpoint inside. At this hour, the club is empty and the door is open, where a horrific smell wafts out. Ape shit. Elmer is waiting for Virgil with 2 mops in his hands. He can tell Elmer's coming down from some kind of indulgence, liquid and or powder,